My name is Olivia. I'm 35 and traveling alone is my hobby. My friends often ask me, "Don't you get lonely?" But every time, I answer, "Not at all." I have never found being alone to be a burden, so it's not just bravado. What I'm about to share is the time I almost got forced into a marriage. Please, hear me out. At that time, I was 27 years old. I worked as a nurse in the pediatric department of a university hospital. Living alone, no boyfriend, and my days were spent in the exhausting routine of irregular shifts. My only pleasure was watching movies with my favorite snacks and beer on my days off. You could say my life was more like that of an old man than a blossoming 20-something woman, but I was content. Then my Aunt Rebecca started to rain on my parade. She always used to say, "A woman should marry early or childbirth would be tough." After I turned 25, she became more insistent. At first, she told my mom, "I'll find a good match for her." But mom, knowing my situation and personality, skillfully declined or diverted the topic. But Rebecca wasn't someone to back down easily. "It's bad not having a partner inside at nearly 30. She sent a profile of a potential match to our family home exclaiming. It wasn't a system where I could choose from several profiles. It was more like, "I've arranged a meeting with this man, so find a suitable day to meet him." Is this how marriage connections are forced in this day and age? I was close to calling it off, but then I learned from mom that the match was the son of Rebecca's boss, and I couldn't easily dismiss it. Looking at the profile, the man was obviously no Johnny Depp, nor Timothée Chalamet, nor Zac Efron. He looked more like Rowan Atkinson. Though, imagine Rowan Atkinson shedding his skin about 3 times and 2 sizes bigger. An elite graduate from a prestigious university, 40 years old, works in general affairs at a major corporation. No significant position. Rowan Atkinson, no offense, but I wished for a change. Out of obligation to Rebecca, I agreed to meet this Mike in 2 weeks on a Saturday. When I arrived at the restaurant Rebecca had chosen, I saw a man seated there much heavier than in the photo. Next to him, Rowan Atkinson would look like a fairy tale prince. Mike's chair seemed as small as a piece from the Sylvanian family set. I wanted to leave, but reminded myself not to judge by appearances. With a mission to save Rebecca's face, I forced a smile and approached Mike. "Nice to meet you," I greeted. After I introduced myself, Mike just stared at me and said, "Please, have a seat." Thank you," I replied, sitting down. But Mike showed no sign of speaking. Was he nervous? He didn't seem the talkative type, so I tried initiating conversation. But all I got were a few, "Yeah, I suppose." If we could have chosen the menu together, food preferences might have sparked a conversation, but thanks to Rebecca's thoughtful arrangement of a set-course meal, I had to scramble for topics until the food arrived. I was already finding the atmosphere suffocating, longing to drown my sorrows in alcohol and somehow survive the tension. In the end, the lunch turned into a hellish ordeal, with me excessively praising every dish that arrived and Mike silently nodding in response. I definitely didn't want to go through another lunch like this, so the next day I immediately told Rebecca about the whole ordeal. "I'm not seeing him again," I said somewhat angrily. But Rebecca replied, "What are you talking about? Mike really liked you. He called me right after yesterday overjoyed." "Really? Wasn't that just some polite comment or something his parents said without thinking?" I replied, feeling deflated. "There was hardly any conversation. It just won't work," I said. "What are you saying? This is a great match. Mike works at a major company. You would be sad if you married him." I mean, I earn decently myself, and my job as a nurse isn't exactly unstable, so it's not like I'm desperate to marry for security, but I knew arguing with Rebecca now, who just wanted me married at any cost, was pointless. Well, since Rebecca was paying for the meal, I thought I would enjoy some good food, and if he really did like me, I could just apologize to him in person. So I gave up. The mission was getting heavier. Then came the second face-to-face with Mike. I wouldn't dare call it a date. It's a matter of sentiment. There he was, wearing a much fancier, quite flamboyant red checkered suit, unlike the simple black jacket from last time. What on earth happened? It would be great if he started throwing quiz questions at me for fun, but that clearly wasn't the case. I didn't want to stand next to him. But there I was, about to cry, and I managed to say, "Long time, no see." "You're late. I've been waiting." Sorry. I replied. I was there 10 minutes early and he calls me late. I felt slightly annoyed, but more than that, I was curious about Mike's different way of talking compared to last time. Sitting opposite each other, I wondered if I should initiate the conversation again. As I looked around the restaurant for some hint or topic,
I thought you might not come today. I'm glad you did. Thank you.
Mike said. His unexpected words took me by surprise. Huh? Oh no, not at all. It's me who should, I replied. He barely spoke last time. Was he just nervous? Being thanked like this made me think he might be a good person regardless of appearance.
I was happy a beautiful girl like you came.
Thank you, I replied, awkwardly smiling. What's going on, Mike? The suit, and he's so different from last time. It's like a different person.
I'm 40 and still single. Sure, I've had many interested in me, but it's hard to find someone who shares my thoughts and feelings. Being alone has become comfortable.
His comment about having many interested in him bothered me, but I agreed with the idea of being comfortable alone. I see, so we're both single and should stay that way, right? I thought, listening to Mike.
But seeing others my age with kids, I wonder if I'll end this precious life alone. That thought makes the world seem so fleeting. That's why I tried marriage hunting and then I met you. I thought it was fate.
He said, looking dreamily upwards. A chill ran through me, not from admiration, but from a sense of foreboding. Goosebumps covered my body, but I couldn't ask Mike, "Are you okay?" So I just smiled politely.
Every day I return home to instant ramen. I've often thought, what if my last meal tomorrow was instant ramen? But with Olivia, I would be okay ending my life with just that.
He suddenly said, calling me by my first name with a look akin to the Virgin Mary. Yikes! I guessed, and I exclaimed.
Olivia hasn't had a boyfriend for a long time, right? You're already in your 30s. Soon there won't be many takers. I'll take you. Oh, do you cook? I've always dreamed of being greeted with homemade meals.
Stunned by the turn of events, my true feelings slipped out. Huh? Mike's momentum didn't stop. He continued talking rapidly, panting.
Did my sudden proposal surprise you? I got the suit especially for today. It's designed with you in mind, Olivia. What do you think? Oh, you're a nurse, right? You can take care of people. Then you can take care of my parents too. I am lucky to have found such a good wife. What's wrong? Why so silent? Ah, you're happy about the proposal. I see. With your credentials, you probably don't get much attention from men. So it's natural for pure Olivia to be confused. Maybe you're feeling a man's charm in me? Oh, it's a bit early. But I have someone I want you to meet today for our future.
Is this guy even from the same planet as me? Our thoughts and feelings don't align at all. Did he grow up on Mars or something? He calmly talks about taking care of his parents and cooking meals, doesn't he? Just as I was about to give him a piece of my mind.
This is my dad, Arnold.
A man stood up from the next seat, Mike's dad, meaning Rebecca's boss. And apparently, Arnold had been listening to our conversation the whole time, completely on board with the situation.
I'm happy, Olivia, choosing her Mike. You have a good eye for people, right, Mike? Yeah, Dad, I haven't approved of many girls before, but Olivia just barely meets my standards. It's a fateful encounter.
It's over. Now there are two Martins who can't hold a proper conversation. I was annoyed by the word barely, but at this point, it hardly mattered. I needed to somehow get out of the situation. Exhausted, I tried to rack my brain for a solution. But no good ideas came to my mind. Should I confront them directly? But then there's Rebecca's position to consider. Lost in thought, I realized that the table was now filled with food. I couldn't bring myself to touch any of it. And I wished I could say the dishes remained untouched, but Arnold was eating my portion. Before I knew it, all I had left was water. Mike wasn't helping.
Dad, this is delicious too.
Just suggesting other dishes to his dad? What kind of family is this? No wonder they're both so round. Why are they eating so much? Planning to produce foie gras in their lives? Mike and I was about to honestly refuse and leave quickly because this was too bothersome.
Right, Olivia, I know you were so interested in Mike last time, asking him all those questions. Mike was touched by that, and now he's fallen for you.
Huh? What? Asking questions out of obligation made him fall in love? Am I the cause?
I like you. You asked me various questions.
This is neither pleasing nor anything else.
But if you become Mike's wife, there are rules. You'll have to follow them strictly.
What more could this family possibly say? So shameless and presumptuous. While thinking this, I was a little curious about what could be worse, so I decided to listen.
First, your salary goes entirely to Mike. Switch all your shifts to day duty. Night shifts mean no time with Mike, no chance for marital intimacy. Household chores may be done exactly as Mike says. Debone all the fish for him, put on his socks, and if he wishes, his underwear too.
Once again, a current ran through me, goosebumps all over. I shivered, and the cup on the table trembled. This is just too disgusting. Too disgusting. Once more, too disgusting.
And try not to have too much personal time. It would make Mike feel lonely.
Arnold said this with a smile as if it were the most natural thing, pushing me to my breaking point. Excuse me? I said, slamming the table and standing up. Mike and Arnold looked utterly shocked, staring at me in disbelief. Isn't that basically slavery? You're taking away my entire life, and Mike, with his talk of caregiving and meals, you just want a convenient working woman, right?
What are you saying? Calm down, Olivia. Marriage is about supporting and sharing duties, right? I'll help out too.
Mike replied, momentarily flustered and still panting. Really? What exactly will you help with?
Preparing meals?
That's it?
Marriage is equal. Whatever Olivia wants, I'll do.
You said it right. I glared at Mike for a moment. Then how about this? First send $500 every month to my mom. In return, I'll use my salary to prepare our meals every day.
Huh?
Mike uttered in confusion. You'll do whatever I want, and we're equals, right? I think I spent about $500 in food, so that money can go to my mom, right?
Huh?
Mike looked bewildered, as if he couldn't grasp the meaning of my words or how it came to this. I'll switch to day shift, but they are tiring, so please let me rest at night in respect of your wife. Let's have a separate marriage, living next door in the same apartment building. I promise to care for your parents so you can start caring for my grandmother right after we get married.
No, wait, that's... Olivia, calm down. Do you realize what you're saying? Olivia, don't you want to support your man?
Mike tried to calm me down while Arnold acted as if their view was the only right one. Huh? What I'm saying is almost the same as what you have been asking of me. Don't you realize how absurd it is when you're the one being asked? How do you not see that you are the ones being unreasonable?
What are you talking about? I don't understand, Olivia. Women should be happy to support and serve men, right? What's gotten into you?
There is nothing what's going on or what about. I can't fathom how we suddenly became engaged. Who in their right mind would want to serve someone like you? Go home and hug a banana cushion, as if it's your girlfriend, you idiot. I thought I had said too much, but I couldn't stop myself. No, I didn't even want to stop. Besides, what's this about nightly activities? Saying such things to a woman you have only met twice is why you're still unmarried. I can't even bear to imagine such a scene with a dynamite body like yours. You said you had many interested in you, but marrying you would be worse than marrying a gorilla at a zoo. That's what every woman must have thought, which is why you're still available. Reflect on your personality. The reason I talked so much at first was just to avoid the awkward silence, and I came here today intending to refuse. Don't call me by my first name like we're close. It's creepy. If you want to do something I desire, then don't ever show your face to me again. I don't like your appearance or personality at all. I really can't. Please, just leave me alone. I vented all my frustrations without barely taking a breath. 2 hours since our reunion. As stressful as it was dealing with him, I felt a great relief after letting it all out. Mike and Arnold on the other side of the table seemed to be in shock. After catching my breath, I gulped down the water in front of me. Well, that's that. Keep looking for a woman who meets your criteria, though I doubt you'll find her on this planet, especially one who can't put on his own underwear and socks, Mr. Dynamite Body. Upon hearing my words,
wow.
Mike's face contorted and he burst out loud, crying. Feeling utterly disenchanted, I left without looking back. He'll be single for life, but considering Arnold is married, there must be someone for everyone. Later, Rebecca contacted me flustered, saying, Mike said he doesn't want such a scary woman. I told her everything that happened. Rebecca had only heard about Mike through Arnold and never spoke with him herself, nor did she realize Arnold had such views on marriage. Well, that makes sense. Arnold has been divorced and remarried. Rebecca realized midway through our conversation he must have imposed similar views on his ex-wife, leading to their divorce. I listened, thinking he would probably divorce again soon. Rebecca apologized genuinely. "Sorry, Olivia, I couldn't have children because I married late. I interfered too much with you. Such things should be left to nature." She apologized. I knew Rebecca didn't mean any harm. She was just a bit pushy, and the match was incredibly odd. "Well, I don't think marriage talks are bad, but maybe they're just not for me," I said with a smile. "Olivia will surely find her own good match. I worried too much. I won't bring up marriage anymore, so don't worry." Rebecca agreed. This marked the end of the incident. 8 years later, the incident with my furious marriage proposal to Mike has become a joke in our family. He's still single as ever. Even more, he's now unemployed. Originally incompetent at work and unable to apologize, he was demoted and relegated to the company's dumping ground department. After our marriage talks, he fell for a young woman who joined and got fired for stalking her. "Oh, weren't there many interested in you?" I secretly chuckled. Arnold, as expected, ended up single and is now supporting Mike. As for me, I married a doctor from the same hospital. About 2 years after the marriage talk, we bonded over a conversation about travel at a year-end party. We grew closer, talking about places we wanted to visit, and eventually started dating. Things progressed smoothly to marriage, a rather ordinary course. Both being busy with hospital work, it was hard to sync our schedules, so now I'm a housewife. My husband encourages me to use his salary for my solo travel hobby. We travel together when our schedules allowed, but that was only until last year. Contrary to Rebecca's worries, our long-awaited daughter was born, keeping me busy every day. My reading has shifted from travel magazines to parenting books. I still think being alone is nice, but being with my family is even better, thanks to my husband and daughter. I deeply feel that a relationship where we can discover new things and grow together is what marriage and family are all about. Now, I'm more excited about my daughter's growing walking speed than information about travel destination. Today is another happy day. Peace on earth.